Hey everyone, and welcome back to episode 2 of Dungeons and Derek. This is a Dungeons and Dragons 5th edition actual play podcast where, unlike other actual play podcasts, 4 friends play the game of Dungeons and Dragons.
We have Derek. No, it's very different.
We have Derek.
Different. This is the only D&D 5th edition actual play podcast containing this exact configuration of people playing these characters.
And it's a homebrew, so that's fun.
It's homebrew. Yeah. This stuff is not available for purchase.
It's Derek brew.
That's
Derek's special brew.
Are there people out there doing like D&D canon stories still?
I know there are. There's one really well known. Well, actually, a couple of really well known. So the Glass Cannon podcast, which was fantastic.
Watch it. Listen to it.
Yeah, started off doing, I think, a published adventure. Maybe not. I don't know if it was published, but it definitely they didn't write the original one. They spun off from there. Same with the Adventure Zone, one of the most popular ones. Started out with the Lost Mines of Fendalver, and then spun off this amazing world.
Yeah, and
from there.
Quickly went off the rails. Yeah.
Yeah, it went off the rails and never came back.
Gotcha. Okay.
Yeah.
Right.
So that was your D&D podcast knowledge drop.
D&D corner.
D&D corner.
Plug for those little podcasts. You know, we big boys. We
they need the help.
Yeah.
throw them a bone, won't somebody? My name is Derek LETTMAN, and I am your dungeon master. And with me, of course, are 3 very dear friends, maybe more than friends or adjacent to friends as well. Some of us have familial relations. Whoa.
You made that sound very strange.
I'm sorry. But I'm joined by Jess, Greg, and Stephanie. Why don't you guys introduce yourselves in any order?
Hi, my name is Greg. Just like that? Or you want more?
That's fine. Maybe introduce your character. I don't think
sure.
household names
Hi.
yet.
My name's Greg, and I play Adair MacConnifer, the old cleric who just is fed up with your shit.
Great. Stephanie?
Yeah, well, I'm Stephanie. I'm married to Greg, and therefore I am Derek's half-cousin-in-law. So put him in the cousin bucket. That's where we keep you. And I am Elesia Ravenwood, a very esteemed half-elf arcane trickster.
And last and statistically 25% likely to be least, Jess, you want to introduce yourself?
By what standards?
Just by a roll.
One of the 4 of us has to be.
There's 4 of us, yeah.
It hurts. My name is Jessica LYNN VERDI. I play Mercurie Hellbreeze, who is just a total misanthrope, which is really out of character for me. Anyone who has heard me do D&D like things before.
We also have a special guest today, Ozymandias, my kitten, who is occupying my dice rolling hand. So I may need to forego some rolls in order to maintain my cat.
That's just unacceptable.
I'll roll for you, hen. What's a wife for?
So without any further ado, shall we dive back into the world of Axys?
Yeah.
Dive.
All right.
Let's axe that sis.
So on our last episode, we met our heroes, Elesia Ravenwood, Adair MacConnifer, and Mercurie Hellbreeze. They were recruited by an arbiter, Brago, to investigate a break-in at a local candy shop called Chocolate Fontaine. The party investigated several leads, including Fontaine's ex-lover and some daggers found near the scene, before pursuing what seemed to be the most promising lead of all, a local food critic named Tothar. The party traveled to the Axys Zephyr, Tothar's workplace, where we find them now, speaking to the newspaper's editor. So the 3 of you are seated in the editor's office at the Zephyr. There's a haze of cigar smoke in the air, leather furniture, leather chairs, wingback chairs scattered around the office tables, papers scattered everywhere, kind of a frantic, businesslike air around.
Do we have like a Mad Men side table with some whiskey on it?
Oh yeah, there's definitely definitely decanters of various liquors and elaborate crystal glasses begging to be sipped upon.
I sip.
So the editor sits across from you, chomping on a cigar.
I don't mean to be disrespectful, sir. I think you're supposed to smoke those, not chomp them.
Look, I started off smoking these cigars, and then I realized I was going through 8, 10, 12 a day. Do you have any idea how expensive that gets? Much more economical just to chomp on them.
Again, I'm not going to yuck your yum. Don't you make enough money to afford cigars? Shouldn't that be part of your stipend? Like, listen, when I'm fighting in the arena, I have certain things that need to be prepared for me a certain way, i.e. stuffed grape leaves. Very important that I have those ready for me after the match. Or a hot man ready for me and naked and stuffed.
When I was younger, I was often the hot man that was used for the gladiatorial sex things. Those were my younger days. It was fun.
I'm supposed to, that makes me want to puke.
That's way too much information from the both of you. Furthermore, I told you one of my chief reporters.
Sorry, I have a question. I have an urgent question.
You know what? Yeah, the other two did theirs. Then go ahead, do yours.
So where I'm from, if you set a decanter out within sight of your guests, that is an invitation. May I?
You know what? Fine. Go ahead. Fine.
Oh, thank you.
Hey, go easy on the good stuff.
I pour myself 2 fingers of the good stuff.
So as I was saying, and look, keep this on the down low, okay? My boy Tothar, he was out reporting yesterday, and he went missing, and we haven't seen him since. And I know what you're thinking. He's a grown man. He goes missing for one day. Can't be that big of a deal. Well, Tothar had a story due last night, and he didn't turn it in. And believe you me, Tothar is not the kind of person to miss a deadline.
What was the story about?
Have you heard of this whole, motion in the food scene here called arcane gastronomy?
No.
Yes, that's where you prepare food by magical rather than mundane means. Is that the
I mean, that's
concept?
part of it. It's a real showy thing. So you got, exploding steaks and, mashed potatoes that move on your plate and talk to you, that kind of thing.
That doesn't sound pleasant at all.
Oh, no, it's great. The stuffed grape leaves that I get, didn't realize that that's what they're called. They actually turn into a flute and sometimes yodel.
Oh.
Anyway, it's all the rage among the upper crust these days. That's what Tothar was reporting on.
Does it have anything to do with chocolate?
I suppose it could touch chocolate as well. I mean, it seems to have affected every other cuisine. Why do you ask?
I suppose I should tell you that we're interested in Tothar because of his connection with a possible heist of a chocolate shop.
Okay, I mean, let me be clear. Tothar is on the straight and narrow. I don't think he's involved in any black market shenanigans or anything like that, if that's what you're implying.
We're all on the straight and narrow till we're not, aren't we?
But he may not be involved with black market shenanigans, but are black market shenanigans involved with him?
For Tothar's sake and for the sake of the newspaper, I certainly hope not.
Well, this story that he was working on, was there a specific eatery that he was focused on? Is there a place that we can go think that he might have last been?
Why don't you roll a persuasion check?
Gladly.
Persuasion.
All right, that would be a 3 plus my modifier, so that would be 2.
You should have just lied and said that the cat was still on your lap.
So the editor goes, now listen, Tothar, very closed lip about what he's working on. He likes to take an article, polish it to a mirror sheen, and then only show us it when it's finished. So I don't really know what he was working on from day to day.
Well, has he simply not shown up for work, or has anyone checked on him?
You mean like gone to his apartment? Or
yeah.
Well, no, I mean we're very busy here, but yeah, if you wanted to check it out, then suppose wouldn't do any harm.
Well,
Just
where does he
make sure the
live?
guy's okay. He takes a note off of his desk and scrawls an address on it.
From memory? That's really impressive.
Yeah, what can I say? You don't get to be the editor of the major newspaper of a major city without having some intellectual fortitude.
So, a couple of questions for you. He's been missing for over a day, and you haven't bothered to check his address that you know by heart. That's correct? You didn't bother to swing by after he missed his appointment yesterday?
Look, I see where you're going with this, and I just want you to know I didn't have anything to do with this. I'm worried about the guy. I want to make sure he's okay.
Do I believe him?
Anyone can roll insight if
I'll insight this fool. Aha! I got a 20.
natural or modified.
Modified.
A dirty 20.
You can tell from your keenly honed insight that the editor seems to be genuinely concerned. Tothar has recently become a little bit of a celebrity since food and cuisine has been such an important diversion for the upper crust. People buy the newspaper to read Tothar's columns and his scathing and witty reviews.
Now, here's a question. Is there a arcane gastronomy bakery called the Upper Crust anywhere in town?
There certainly is now.
All right.
Not easy, folks.
It's that easy. Well, it certainly seems like your concern is genuine in spite of your odd behavior surrounding the disappearance of a colleague. But we'll go check out his address, and rest assured, we won't rest until
he's assured.
Yeah, exactly that.
If anyone asks what you're doing there, just tell them Boulard sent you.
Blue lard.
Lard.
Okay, it's
Blue lard. Goodness, what's wrong with you people?
Thank you.
Blue lard.
Not.
Read a book.
Excuse me. My mother died reading a book. Excuse me.
She
walks out to the hall.
Yeah. So, anything else you want to do here at the newspaper, or just head over to the apartment?
Well, if this were a point and click game, I would open all the drawers and see if there's any used chewing gum in any of them. But no.
Sweet. So you leave the hustle and bustle of the Zephyr, head down the arcane lift, and head a few streets over to the address on the note. And it's another smaller. What do we call them? Heaven pokers, heaven clawers.
Oh gosh, what did we call them?
Heaven pokers, I think.
Heaven pokers. Sky pokers? No.
Sky pokers? No, not sky. Got to change both words.
Oh, yeah. That's right. Yeah, heaven scrapers? Nope.
Nope. So to a residential heaven poker, and
hate it.
It's
hate it.
No, it's great. Blue lard.
I love it. I hate it.
And you head up to the apartment number on the note.
Oh, look. It's the apartment number on the note. This seems to be the right place.
That it does. I knock.
Listen, no, wait. Oh, shoot. Okay, you knock.
You knock and wait for a bit. You don't hear anything just from casual observation.
How about from uncasual observation?
I think we got to roll for those.
Perception check, yeah.
All right. Should we all roll?
Yeah, anyone who's, doing the old cup to the door, listening up.
My old man ears hear nothing.
11.
With an 11, listening at the door, inside the apartment, as far as you can tell, is dead silent. No particular emphasis on the word dead there.
Listen, I think now's as good a time as any to just say, I think we're past our quota here. I think we're going really far to find out what happened to a chocolatier when really he just was robbed, like this happens all the time, especially in that part of town. And now we're chasing after some barely related person who tries food for a living.
I agree with you. Maybe you should leave and we'll finish it and get the bounty. So bye-bye.
I'm not getting a good job until I finish this job.
Exactly.
We're going to finish this job.
Yeah, you and I will finish this job, and our brute friend here.
I pick the lock. Is that a thing?
It certainly can be. Do you have thieves' tools?
I do.
Ooh.
Are you proficient with thieves' tools?
Mm.
Oh, yes, I am proficient with them.
Okay. You could roll plus dexterity plus your proficiency bonus.
So that is a 23.
Okay.
I'm a rogue, bitches.
Yeah, so you go to town with the thieves' tools and just like hot butter, just like opening a bar of hot butter. You pop that door open, and it just slides silently open.
Right.
And you see the interior of presumably Tothar's apartment. It's actually quite Spartan. There's a bed in one corner that's a feather mattress on like a box spring. In another corner, there's a writing desk piled high with papers and inks, a little kind of steampunky typewriter.
So
is
a
there.
typewriter?
I guess all typewriters are steampunk typewriters. Maybe it's got like a little, it's got
There's
like a
some
little
gears on there
smokestack
that
on
are
it.
not-
Yeah,
not
not
needed.
function. That's right. Conspicuously absent from the apartment is any kind of kitchen whatsoever. There's just like a few takeout containers on a small table next to a chair.
Can I have an item that makes it so that I can detect magic?
Are you just asking me, the DM, that?
Yeah.
Can you just have? I mean, I think it's pretty reasonable that that's something that exists in the world of Axys that one could obtain at some point. I don't think that's something that
I have right
I mean,
now.
essentially, we're talking about like a wand of detect magic.
Something like that. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's certainly something in the infinitude of adventuring. Maybe when
Just
we do
know
our
that I want that. Okay.
yeah, okay. We'll do a mandatory, getting stocked up portion at some point, and that can
Great.
certainly be something you go for.
I want to just like snoop. I want to do some snooping.
Great. Snooping on anything in particular?
Just kind of do a general snoopy sweep.
Why don't you roll a general Snoopy investigation roll?
Did you say an investigations check?
Yes, please.
Then that's a 17.
Oh, okay.
Dang.
It's like I'm a rogue with rogue skills.
As I said before, the apartment is pretty Spartan. Most of the interesting information is in and around Tothar's writing desk. You find a lot of lists of restaurants, places Tothar intends to visit, some like one-liners that maybe are, fodder for a future review or something. One thing that you do find, you find a paper with yesterday's date on it, and what appears to be a location for an interview. The paper says on it, Durazar at Durazar's Delights. What's a good interview time? 3 p.m.
Did you say there was an address?
No, just the name of the place.
Okay.
Is there a date?
Yeah, yesterday.
Yes, and you know what? I'll say it. I'll say, oh, look at this. Durazar's Delights yesterday. This looks like a lead.
Dungeons and Derek. Do I know Durazar's Delight?
One skill that I love is knowledge local that isn't in D&D 5th edition.
Well, I've been reading through all of the different maps of the city for a long time. It's what I do.
That's really sad, man.
In fact, I know the history of every building that was built in this city, and I probably
Dear God.
know it.
I will say I'll let anyone roll an intelligence check. Adair, is that honest about reading maps of the area and whatnot?
Well, for hundreds of years, I've just been reading and cataloging things, so I'm sure I've done a lot with maps in the city.
So here's one thing: is this spoilers? This place is brand spanking new, so it wouldn't show up on any like historical maps or anything. It's much
You'd
more
have to
likely.
be a reader of the Axis Zephyr or something. I guess it's a competitor because he was about to write it up.
I will say anyone can roll and
No, I think it's fair that it's something we just don't know of. Yeah.
Fine.
We do need to find out how to get there, though. That would be
there's something at play. This is kind of a funky way to do it, but why don't each of you roll perception?
Okay. You're the DM, man.
I sure am.
17.
4.
13.
Mercury, you remember as you were, let's say, on your way to one of your bouts, you remember hearing one of the yelpers, the little boys that stand at the corner and yell things. You remember them shouting about the grand opening of Durazar's Delights, which was at the beginning of this week.
Great. So I do know where it is then.
Yeah. So it's on kind of the very north side of the Silver District, basically like just outside of Scholars Hill.
Listen, I was going to take your advice and leave this group, but seems like I have information that you might need. So
you just can't tear yourself away, can you?
I mean, you're really sexy. Don't get me wrong. Like this could be something, but business first. Wait, pleasure ed. It's all very confusing for me.
And remember, not a virgin.
We did discuss this? That's right. I was drunk, but I was also playing. It's like, there's a lot of things going on for me. I'm not well. I'm not a healthy person inside and out. Let's go. I know where Duras are.
You really know how to talk to a lady.
Let's go.
Where is it?
I goose you as we walk out.
Oh God.
Can you define goosing for me?
Just grab the butt
like
a little bit.
little squeezy motion with your hands.
Isn't it when you grab a butt a little bit?
I think so. I've been
seeing Goose the last couple days. And I'm like, oh, goosing is not kosher anymore.
Not
anymore. Has it ever been in our lifetimes?
I think people would goose, and it's like you couldn't tell the man not to. Like they would goose the waitress, and it's like.
Well, I'm sure Adair MacConnifer has goosed a time or two in his day.
He's goosed and he's been goosed.
You walk for a good amount of time to get to Durazar's Delights, and you arrive there, and you see it's a standalone shop, and you can see across the front of the shop it's not like a banner. It's just like it's like a firework that keeps repeating itself that just like spells out grand opening.
Is it made specially for him, or is it something you can see at stores that people can buy? That grand opening sign.
It is probably like you could probably like rent this from like an events company.
So like a flailing arms dude.
Basically,
well,
yeah.
I was just thinking one of those little neon signs that goes grand opening, flash, flash.
I would say
Magic Lair.
Probably a little classier than that.
Uh-huh. Okay.
But yeah, same idea.
This place is called Delights. It could have done many different things, and Delights is an upscale word.
Is it?
It promises a lot.
It does.
They didn't use the banners; they used delights.
I don't like you.
Oh boy! All right. Are we going to keep doing this?
Let's go back to fantasy land.
I'm going to make a really quick bet, though, Derek. Do you think they're going to stay married throughout the entirety of this podcast? We're gonna put that in our Patreon.
That's only the third worst thing he's done today. So
subscribe to the $100 tier and
just find out number 2.
So you see out in front of the shop, there's what at first glance looks like just a garden of unnaturally brightly colored, luscious plants. But on closer inspection, you see it's actually candies shaped into the shape of plants. So rose stems are licorice, and the petals are petal-like candies. In the middle of the garden, there's a large fountain that's bubbling with chocolate.
Do I see Johnny Depp or Gene Wilder anywhere nearby?
You do not, but you're in the right headspace.
Okay.
You can smell a smell of sweets and chocolate that there's no way that this is natural. This is definitely magically amplified.
I'm gonna have to have that chocolate fountain brought to my room after my next fight. I'm gonna dip a man in it.
Actually, it very well might be evidence. So I think we ought to take a little bottle and add it to our stack of things that we found so far.
Whoa, old guy. We can't just assume that this is going to be free. Nothing's for free here. He just lures you in. You take a piece of candy, and now you're an indentured servant for the rest of your life.
Is that how this city runs?
I'm not saying it doesn't run that way. I'm just saying it doesn't not.
Oh, God. Let's go do our interview.
But this is not our interview.
I go knock on the door.
Okay.
Yeah, doors actually. They're like they're big, elaborate, like double doors, and they're wide open. So walking into the showroom of the shop, you can see that it's similarly like over the top, decorated just in your face with sweetness, displays, elaborate like metal trays and stuff that sweets are piled upon. In the middle of the ceiling, toward the ceiling, you can see that there's a solar system that's made out of candied fruits and berries, and in the middle, like as the sun.
Is it heliocentric?
It is. Yeah.
Oh, good.
Wow.
Okay. Wow. Yeah.
Yeah. It's a sun like covered in marzipan or something. Is that a thing? I don't know.
Sure, why not?
Sure. And you can see behind the desks, which are of course those clear display cases that have little truffles and things in them. Behind the desks, just barely peeking over them, are two goblins wearing bright white robes.
What are their names, Derek?
Would you like to ask them? Would you like to look at them?
Do they have
I'll read them.
tags?
Yeah, so they're each wearing a little name tag that says intern on it.
Good day, sirs or madams.
Better not to assume.
Goblin folk. I'm sorry. It might be better if I use your names. Might I ask your names?
Of course you may. And welcome to Durazar's Delights. My name is Gizik. And my name's Gork. What can we show you?
Have you met an investigator fellow in recent days? What was his name?
No, stop. Adair.
Yes.
We have to be chill, dude.
I mean, if these people have seen our friend, then they can help us find our friend.
You do you, dude. Let's see how this goes.
What was his name? Have you seen a reporter from the Zephyr by the name of Thorbold by any chance coming around these parts?
Go ahead.
What's his?
We're gonna let him screw that one up.
Okay,
Anyone at this point can roll an insight check.
got it. I love it.
Ooh, me too. I'll do that. No, I won't do that.
That's an 11.
10 over here.
Oh Jesus, it's a 5.
I said, "Oh Lord Jesus, it's a 5."
So Mercury, I don't know if you're too busy being disappointed in Adair, but Adair and Elesia, you notice that all of a sudden both goblins' eyes go very, very wide, and they were a little bit sweaty before, just because they're young and nervous, but they get very sweaty all of a sudden. They go, "Oh, would you look at that? We need to close to eat lunch."
This is where I step in. I expected this to go poorly. I grab both of them by their shirts and lift them up against the wall.
Okay, let's roll that as we'll roll it as your athletics against their acrobatics, because they do not want to be grabbed.
I rolled 15.
Okay, they rolled a 9.
Yay!
Yeah, so you grab them both, and let's. Well, I guess what do you intend to do with them?
I'm gonna grief them. I wanna scare them and say, "You're right. You are gonna close. You're gonna close that door, and we're gonna stay in, and we're gonna find this Tothar, and you're gonna lead us to him."
Let's roll for. I mean, that's pretty straight up intimidation, and you outnumber them. You're much larger than them. Do it with an advantage.
14, which an advantage gives me how many?
Roll twice.
Oh,
Take the better.
well, it's gonna be a 14.
Okay. And they go, "Look, miss, we don't want any trouble. We're just interns, just trying to get on this rocket ship before it takes off. So please don't hurt us. If you want, we can get the boss and you can talk to him."
Rocket ship?
Now, what is this rocket ship that you're talking about? I don't understand the concept of a rocket.
It's just a way of saying this business is young now, but it's going to blow up. It's going to be huge. Yeah, that's right.
So you're saying you would rather endanger a man's life than be helpful? This is not my strong suit.
Look, the boss told us not to answer any questions. We've already said too much, so I'd appreciate it if you'd put us down. And
I have a question for you.
Okay.
Who do you fear more, your boss or this woman? Right now.
Well, I suppose at the moment this woman, but the boss is also can be very, very scary.
Well, why don't you just not be afraid of us, but take us to the boss so we can talk to the boss and you can just go on your merry way and get your lunch.
Yeah, that sounds good. We'll take you to the boss.
Lead on.
Okay. Would you mind putting us down?
No, you're just going to tell us where to go, and I hold them in the air.
Okay.
You can point.
He points toward a hallway leading into the back. And actually, this hallway, it's not like you're opening a door and like going into a back room. There's like an elaborate script up top that says the factory. There's like a mural of like fanciful mages conjuring chocolate and stuff on the walls. This is not a place that you're not going into a private area, basically.
We're going into an area that looks like you would pay to take a tour through it.
Exactly right. Yeah.
Is it suspicious that they're taking down us this way?
You tell me.
I'd like to roll. I'd like to see
Insight?
before I go down that hallway. I'd like to roll insight. That is an 8.
I mean, as far as you can tell, there's no other doorways in this place. If they're going to lead you somewhere else in the building, it's got to be this way. Okay. Otherwise, they'd just be leading you back out the way you came.
Okay. As we walk, I like kind of clink them together, like just like in a fun way, like
Fun to whom?
me.
Just is Mercury a bully?
Yes.
Yeah.
I think she's been bullied, and this is how she.
Okay, all right.
I think that
all right.
describes all bullies.
Yeah.
I hope maybe this is a character arc. I hope we'll get to see.
I'm giving you a lot to work with.
I appreciate that. They lead you back into the factory, and this Adair, Greg, you very astutely brought up Willy Wonka before, and this is totally like fantasy Willy Wonka vibe. So there's definitely a river of chocolate. There are bubbles of candy, of like sugary bubbles like floating across the room. There are mushrooms that you'd bet you could snap off a piece and eat, and it'll probably be delicious.
This seems like an extremely inefficient way to make candy.
They go, oh no. The boss is revolutionizing the way we make candy. Gorg, what's that word he keeps using? Disrupting. Yeah, he's disrupting candy is what he keeps saying.
Are you people? Wait. Hold on.
Don't say you people. Have you learned nothing? Read a book.
Do you get paid?
We get paid in stock options and exposure.
So I'm going to expose you two later. What? No. We're gonna not cut that, but we're gonna not strike it from the record.
Non-canon.
Not canon.
The boss is right back this way, and he points toward the rear wall.
All right, I'd like to put them down, and but still hold on to them and say, "Run away right now."
But you're still holding on to them?
Well, they have to get their verbal or their physical agreement.
They go, well, do you want us to take you to the boss or not?
Is he in this room?
No, he's not in this room. He's in the back.
All right.
The one who called himself Gizik removes like a big novelty-sized key from his robe and kind of walks toward the back of the room with the key held out.
I haven't let them go yet.
Oh, you haven't?
No, they are down on the floor, but I'm still holding on.
Ma'am, are you gonna let me go so I can open up the back?
Do I have your word that you're not gonna scamper off like little bitches?
I'm sorry, I'm getting very mixed messages here. You said run away, and now you're telling me not to scamper off. What am I supposed to do?
Get us to the boss and then run away.
Okay.
Let me see if I understand this. Step 1, agree. Step 2, get us to the boss. Step 3, run away.
Yes, you got it. Damn.
Okay, we're on board with that plan.
You may
All right,
go.
that's step 1.
I have released them.
They run away.
I fully expect that.
So Gizik walks toward the back, where he indicated the way back was, and then he's going to try to pull a fast one. I'll let you roll a perception check to not have him get the jump on you.
All of us, or just
Probably, it sounds like Mercury is probably the closest to them. So if you want to like physically intervene, probably only Mercury would have that option. But if you want to cast a spell or do something from a distance, you could certainly do that.
I got an 18.
Adair or Elesia, are you guys going to try to do anything?
I think I would only do something like I see that something's about to happen, but I'm not so invested in it, the immediacy of it, to try and keep it from happening. I'd rather see what will happen.
If it looks like they're getting past her, I would try to block them.
Block them how?
By grabbing them.
The way that I'm picturing this, so you guys entered from the front of the shop, and I'm seeing like sort of like a wedge formation, and then the two goblins out in front.
Mm-hmm.
So I think only Mercury would be in a good spot to like physically grab them before they could do something.
I guess maybe like a.
If you want to like throw something or cast a quick spell or something like that.
Yeah, then in that case, probably not.
Okay. So they rolled a 20 on their sleight of hand check. And
What the fuck?
Gizik reaches over to a unnecessarily ornate switch, and he pulls it. And you hear sort of like one of those factory like, and then a lot of like chunk, 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 bloop, 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 bloop. These are our Foley. This is where we are right now. This is our Foley work.
Okay, good.
So some kind of machinery starts happening, and Gizik goes, I'm so sorry, but I lied earlier. I'm much more scared of the boss.
I blink their two heads together to knock them out.
Let's actually roll for initiative.
Oh,
Ooh,
sure.
we're gonna fight some baby goblins.
Probably some robots is what I'm hearing.
14.
10.
14.
Mercury and Elesia, you guys will be going first with 14 initiative, but before that, the factory has a lair action, which will go at initiative 20.
What?
Out of
A what action?
a lair action.
Layer, like a layer.
Lair.
Is that right? Like a layer. There. This is my layer.
Yes, correct.
Okay.
Yeah, not what would the alternative be?
I don't know.
Would it be like hide the
Like
dick
short for
layer
Larry?
on that Photoshop drawing?
It's Spanish
I don't know.
for to read. LEER. Lair.
Layer.
Yeah. So it's all those.
Or
Dragon
German
Miller.
for empty, lair.
Lead.
Indian
Like I am
edition,
Mhm.
lairs spelled LAIR can have actions. They'll always go on initiative 20, and it's if in some way the environment actively affects combat. I'm probably doing a terrible job of describing that. If like the environment has some kind of active effect on combat, it'll
You're
pop
like
off.
you're in a poisonous swamp, or
Yeah, that makes
you're
sense.
in a blizzard,
Yep.
or yeah.
In this case, you're in a wacky magical chocolate factory. And on initiative 20, out of the bubbling river of chocolate goo schlorps some kind of animated chocolate ooze, and it starts to schlorp toward you.
Out of all the words that I've ever heard,
Yeah.
Schlorp is the newest, perfectest, and best. Yeah. Did you
Best,
make it up, or is it real? Is it real?
I feel like it's not like I'm not treading new onomatopoeic ground there.
I'm slurping. My name is the
So-
Chocolate Monster.
So, of the two of us, with our identical initiative rolls, which one of us goes first?
Hey, player's choice.
Well, who's it
I have-
slurping towards?
Yeah.
Probably Gizik and Gorg have their attention on Mercury. So let's say the chocolate monster is slurping toward the backliners, toward Adair and Elesia.
Why don't you go? You know what? I'll take it. And my goal still is to knock these two heads together and just disable them. The Disick and Dizark.
Sure.
Scott Disick and Dorko.
Okay, so you're going to try to. I feel like there's some classic slapstick touch point we should be using. I don't know if it's Marx Brothers or whatever, but
Oh, it's definitely Stooges, where like they
Three Stooges. Yeah.
definitely
Okay, so Three
Stooges.
Stooges style. Ring their bells.
Yes, totally.
Yeah. Okay. That's kind of an interesting one. I think we will call it. They're going to try to wriggle away. So let's do another athletics versus acrobatics.
Okay. Oh God, I'm so glad that that's a high thing, but it's 9 for me.
Okay.
And then damage 4.
4 damage to each of them.
Great.
To each of them. Wow, it's an area unarmed.
AOE.
I'm happy about that.
Okay. And I'll say these guys do not look super sturdy. They look like they're both pretty messed up by that.
Sure.
Elesia, you're up next.
I am going to just try to slurp through this slurper. And by that, I mean slice it with a rapier.
Go ahead and just roll your attack.
That's going to be a 20.
20. Natural or modified?
Modified.
That will definitely be a hit. Go ahead and roll for damage.
That is 7.
Okay. And that's going to be halved because this thing has resistance to slashing. So it takes 3 damage.
Okay, rude, but okay.
Very rude. Okay, up next are Gorg and Gizik. Gizik takes a wand out of his pocket and starts to chant some kind of incantation. You see a shimmering field appears around him. If anyone wants to roll an Arcana check, you can try to identify the spell.
Gladly. Haha! Natural 1.
Okay. Yeah,
He's
some kind of
casting
spell
lightning bolt.
that produced a glimmery field around him. Elesia, I don't know if you have anything that allows you to identify spells.
I also have Arcana. Is that what you mean?
Let's say for now, and I reserve the right to correct the way that we're using the rules. But let's say for now you can identify the spell with an Arcana check.
Okay.
And we'll say it's
I'll
DC
do it
10
too.
plus the level of the spell.
I rolled an 11.
11. Okay, it's a level 1 spell. He's casting mage armor on himself. Meanwhile, Gorg sputters over and he picks up a hose that was lying on the floor and kind of points it in the general direction of Adair and Elesia, but nothing seems to happen quite yet. Chocolate Monster goes next. And he is schlorping toward, he's going to schlorp right at Elesia since you guys are already in combat. And he will extend a chocolatey pseudopod and try to
Gross.
smash you. He rolls a 19, which I'm guessing is a hit.
Yes.
Yikes.
2 damage to Elesia.
All right.
Finally, rounding out the round is Adair.
Gizik, I have a suggestion for you. Would you be so kind as to shut off the factory? And the suggestion...
We're in combat.
Suggestion is a level 2 spell
Oh,
with a 13 difficulty wisdom check.
I think Adair just conjured a mic and then dropped it.
Look.
Just for the listeners, because of course I know. Can you read off the details of what a suggestion does?
You suggest a course of activity, limited to a sentence or 2, and magically influence a creature you can see within range that can hear and understand you. The suggestion must be worded in such a manner as to make the course of action sound reasonable. Asking the creature to stab itself, throw itself onto a spear, immolate itself, or do some other obviously harmful act ends the spell.
Okay. So Giza goes, yes, of course. And he grabs again the ornate switch. He'll spend his next round switching the factory off. We're back at the top, the lair action. So factory is still going because it hasn't gotten around to Gizik's turn yet. So from the hose that Gorg is holding, some more chocolatey oozes out and joins with the chocolate monster that exists. The chocolate monster appears to swell up in size. Up next is Mercury.
Yeah, I'm gonna wrap that hose around that little bitch's neck
Awesome. Is this
by effectively tying it off, also like kinking it.
Ooh.
Okay, I like that. Let's treat that as a grapple. So that'll be opposed athletics.
Meaning I roll at a disadvantage.
No. You're just rolling your athletics against theirs.
What does DC mean? Hit DC.
DC is difficulty class.
Got it. So just straight up athletics modifier. That's going to be a 19.
19. Okay. They rolled really well, but you roll better.
A little bit better.
Yeah. I hope I'm getting this keyword right. Gorg is now restrained, which means that he won't be able to move on his turn, and the hose is crimped up. So no more chocolates coming out of that until he wriggles loose.
And restrained means that attacks have advantage or automatic stealth attack.
Do you want to be the DM, Greg? Jeez, it's not just about Beast and Greg.
Oh.
So stepping into D&D corner again, the restrained, which has now been inflicted on Gorg, means that his speed becomes 0. He can't benefit from any bonuses to his speed, so he's not going anywhere. Attack rolls against him have advantage, and his attack rolls have disadvantage. He also has disadvantage on any dexterity saving throws.
Great.
So he's in bad shape.
I'm
Anything else?
great.
That's all you're doing on your
All you
turn?
can do, yeah.
Elesia, you're up next.
Yeah. So in spite of Greg's heavy hint that I should sneak attack him, I'm still worried about this chocolate monster. So I'm going to cast Minor Illusion, which is at will, which I think means what I say goes. Someone correct me if that's not right.
At will, I think, just means cast it as much as you want.
I see. So what I'm going to cast is basically I'm going to cast Minor Illusion, which I'm going to use on a sound, which is going to be a alarm sound like a brant, 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 that sort of thing, right behind the chocolate monster.
Sure. Let's roll a deception check with that.
Oh, that's a nat 20, so a 25.
You see the chocolate monster sort of you know how like if you like have like iron filings or something on a speaker or something, it'll start to like make like weird shapes. The chocolate monster sort of starts to do that. It starts to like form into weird shapes and spasm a little bit.
All right. Is there anything reasonable around here for me to hide behind?
Yeah. So there's candy foliage and
Okay. I'm gonna hide in a tasty candy bush or a
yum. Okay. So you find a bush made of like cotton candy, and just get all up in there.
Mm-hmm. All right.
Hope you're not moist.
Well, I'm a little sweaty, but it's fine.
That sounded gross. That sounded a lot worse than I meant it to.
Yeah. Well, what else is new?
Okay, so you're hiding in that candy bush.
Yeah, I'm gonna hide in that moist candy bush.
Oh boy.
I'm gonna stick myself right up in that moist candy bush.
Okay. All right. Okay.
Okay. So Gorg, subject to the suggestion spell, is going to spend his move action turning the factory lever off, and he will take his regular action to cast another spell. So Gizik fires off another spell. No like flashiness, no pyrotechnics or anything. If anyone wants to throw a quick Arcana check, and I'm realizing this is probably a bad idea, so I'll probably only make you do this the first time you encounter a given spell.
15.
15. So you realize he's casting the shield spell, which is going to increase his armor class until next turn.
Cool.
Gorg, meanwhile, is going to try to wrestle out of the grapple with the rope. So let's do another opposed athletics, Mercury. Assuming you want to keep trying to hold the grapple.
Yeah, I think I just want to disable him in general. So
okay,
definitely knock him out.
Yeah. So this is his action. He's trying to wriggle out of.
So I have to fight him. Okay, got it.
Unless you want to let him go.
No, I understand. No way. I'm going to athletics against this mofo. Crap. 14.
He actually rolled pretty poorly. He only rolled a 6. So he is still confined by the chocolate pipe.
You're my chocolate pipe bitch, I say to him. I don't, but I might. I think it.
And if you think it, you say it. That's the kind of person you are.
That's true. And everyone looks at me like, what did you just say? What?
Turn around for my hiding spot.
So up next is the chocolate monster, who's still spasming. So let's see if it can break out of it. Yeah, so it's still doing it sort of like striking a pose. And up next is Adair.
I walk over to the spasming chocolate monster, and I attempt to inflict wounds upon it. It's an attack roll. Yeah.
Okay. Great.
Do I get advantage because it's spasming or just normal?
Sure. Yeah, do it with advantage.
Then that would be a 22.
Okay. It has a very bad AC to start with, so that is definitely a hit.
Then I do 24 damage to it.
24 damage?
Correct.
Oh my god.
What?
3d10 necrotic damage for inflict wounds.
Dude.
Oh my god. Okay.
That person is eviscerated.
Yeah. So go ahead and narrate how it happens. But yeah, this thing is
so
exploded.
Now that the factory is turned off and one of them is tied up, I exasperatedly walk over to the chocolate monster, put a finger on it, and just kind of you watch it rot like chocolate that's been left out for years and years, just suddenly kind of gets dry, falls apart, turns white. Like the chocolate just rots.
It becomes very unappetizing.
Yeah. And I just am saying, can we not with all of this and let's just get back to finding your bosses?
Okay, and I think seeing that display of arcane power, I think Gorg will continue to kind of struggle, and I imagine the hoses across his mouth, but he'll sort of and Gizik will. I'm sorry. I didn't mean it. But if I didn't try to stop you, the boss would have fired me.
All I had to do was knock you out, or you had to run away. But then you've made this big mess.
Let this be a lesson to all of you.
Don't cross the what? Listen, what's our name? What's our group name?
The
Elesia's Ravenwoods.
No.
The Chocolatiers.
No.
The Three Musketeers.
No, that's weird. That's a weird name.
It's hilarious though.
The three
the Wrecking Balls.
The Milk Duds.
Should I tell him the wrecking balls are here?
Yeah, you should. Tell him the wrecking balls are here.
Elesia's Wrecking Balls.
It's just the wrecking balls.
We're gonna need to workshop this later.
Okay, I'll tell him the wrecking balls or Elesia's wrecking balls are here. Just wrecking balls?
It's just the wrecking balls.
Go with your heart. Whatever feels best to you.
The wrecking balls.
I wink.
So Gizik leans down to where he dropped the key earlier, and he picks it up, and he holds it up against kind of a random spot on the wall in the back, just a blank bare spot, and the wall just sort of like dissipates. It looks like there was some kind of either illusion or tangible barrier blocking it, but when he holds the key up, it dissolves, and you can see further back into the shop, there's what seems to be just a very drab hallway. We're talking like unfinished. I don't know if they had plywood back then, but I'm picturing like plywood walls. There's doors on either side and a door leading back even further.
Does it look like the entrance to an underground club, like an underground music venue?
I mean, you tell me. You spent that time in Berlin frequenting the underground clubs.
We would have if it weren't for COVID.
Mainly, it looks like the back of a shop that is like really not concerned with appearances at all.
Yeah.
You've left sort of the public area.
Yeah.
And he goes, the boss is just in the back here.
We don't trust you.
No, take us. You're staying with us. Take us there.
Okay, come with me then. It's not a long hallway. It's maybe 15 feet long. And he goes, "This is the boss's office, just through here. Do you want me to knock and say you're here?"
Yes. Elesia's wrecking balls, here to see them.
Just say that you have to talk to him about something. Don't mention us at all.
Just how about AWB?
I'm getting mixed messages here. I'm definitely scared of the big girl with all the muscles.
I think she's actually got the right of it this time. You need to talk to him about some business stuff.
Okay, I'll try that. He raps on the door a few times and he goes, "Boss, there's some people here to talk to you about."
Don't say there's people. Just you need to talk to him.
There's nobody else except for me here and Gorg. Just Gorg and I need to talk to you about some business-related matters. Go ahead and, if you would, roll a perception check.
21.
21.
Natural one.
Okay.
You're out. You're out of the club.
24.
So Adair and Elesia, you definitely hear this. You hear some rapid staccato chanting, and you hear something scrape across the floor beyond the door, and bump up against the door, leaning toward you. And then you hear continued chanting, and then you hear a pop. And everybody roll a dexterity save. Elesia and Adair, you can do it with advantage.
Oh.
Haha, natural 20. Fuck all of you. 25.
An unnatural 20, but a 20 nonetheless.
7.
So yeah, as expected, Adair and Elesia succeed. Mercury, I'm sorry, but you do not.
I can imagine.
So Mercury, you take 7 damage.
What the?
And you are pushed 10 feet away from the door. Adair and Elesia, you each take 3 damage, and you are not pushed. Let me roll for the 2 goblins as well. Each of the goblins, Gizik and Gorg, they are lifted off their feet and thrown back. And they both collapse on the floor, unconscious.
Well, given that I haven't been thrown back, I'm going to try to open that door.
As you kind of mess with the doorknob, it seems that there's something heavy pushed up against it on the other side.
So it opens inward.
It opens inward. Yeah.
Mercury, we need you. Get over here.
Is my bell rung?
I would say you're probably a little woozy, but you're not knocked out or anything.
What do I need to do?
Be strong with this door, please.
Yeah, I'll just run into it like an idiot.
Specific. Okay. Let me see if I have a roll for running into it like an idiot.
Great. You let me know.
I think.
Athletics.
Yeah, I'm debating between athletics and raw strength. Typically strength checks are easier because they don't have like a potential skill modifier.
Yeah, let's min-max this bitch.
I still don't understand what min-maxing means. Anyway, I'll roll an athletics. Fuck. 11.
You need new dice, Jess.
Listen, this is statistically, I roll worse than someone should statistically. This is canon for my RPG life.
Like I said, you need new dice.
You need new dice.
I've been rolling great. I've had 2 nat 20s tonight.
So on a with an 11 on that strength check, as you run into it, you feel whatever's blocking it on the other side. You feel it budge a little bit, but it's going to take some time to kind of wrestle with it to clear it. But you know that if you spend some time and you really put your back into it, you'll be able to move it.
I yell out, whoever is in there, approach with a wisdom saving throw of 13.
Does suggestion require line of sight?
No, this is not suggestion. This is command.
Okay.
And oh no, you're right. Sorry, sight. Never mind. Okay.
Okay.
Well then, can I look around and see if there's anything that might either be a way around or a different way into this office?
Yeah, absolutely. So when you came down this hallway, you saw that there were also doors on either side. So you came in a door from, let's call it the back. To the front is the room that's barricaded, let's say, and to the right and left are other doors.
I guess I would look for the door closest to this one, so most likely to be an adjoining room.
Let's say that's the one to the left.
Okay. Then I would like to kind of check out that room to see if it is like any sort of trap, or if he also had his little quick magic enchantment affect the other door as well. So I kind of approached that one cautiously.
Okay, so I think let's call that perception.
That's an 8.
With an 8, you don't notice anything funky about the door. Are you touching it? Are you touching the knob?
Yeah, I'll open it.
Okay. You go to open it and you do find that this door is locked. You don't sense anything magical about it. It just seems to be a good old fashioned mundane lock.
Okay, then I yell out to our resident thief, "Hey, maybe we can get in this way." Oh, hey, whippersnapper, you all women are.
Which one?
You elfish kind of one. Come on over here and see if you can't make your way into this door.
All right. Then I'll try to make my way into that door. It's locked, you said?
Yeah.
Okay. Well, I'll try to unlock that shit.
Great.
So that would be a 20, not natural.
20. Okay. Yeah. I mean, once again, you've trained very well. You're very good.
21. Sorry. 20.
Okay.
20,
All right.
20.
Well, in that case, you fail. No. You pop that again. More butter, more opening butter. Yeah, that butter opens right up.
I slide my thieves' tools essentially into the open waiting lock.
Yeah, you tenderly spread the pins and penetrate that lock and ease it open. And inside, you see a room of pipes. You hear loud clanging from inside, and most conspicuously, you see a stout dwarf tied to a simple chair in the middle of the room. The room is tiled, has a drain on the floor, and to one side of the room is a large glass, kind of looks like an aquarium that seems to be connected to all the pipes.
Okay.
You can see some like chocolatey residue around the aquarium.
Is the dwarf connected to anything or just?
No, the dwarf just appears to be tied up, bound and gagged, kind of interrogation style.
Well,
except gagged.
Right. I'm going to go up to him and say, all right, I don't know who you are, but I think you are who I think you are. Shut up. Shh. I will take your gag off if you stop making noise. You haven't stopped. You have to promise. Okay. And so I go. All right. So I go around and I untie his gag.
And he goes, am I? Can I?
Very quietly.
Okay. Thank you for rescuing me.
What's your name?
My name's Tothar.
Yes. Okay. All right, I'm going to untie you and we're going to take you out of here, but you have to be very quiet
Of course.
not do anything stupid.
Of course.
All right.
I won't. I'll save my quips for once we're out.
Okay, absolutely. So then I'm going to go around and try to untie his bonds.
Yeah, I mean they're not like particularly fancily tied knots. Definitely you have more experience with rope work than whoever tied this up, so you're able to easily free him from his bonds.
So I'm just gonna try to like grab him by the sleeve, like don't do anything stupid, and then drag him or lead him out.
Great.
To where Adair is.
Yeah. So back in the hallway, Mercury, are you still working on the door?
Yeah.
Okay. I think you're probably at this point making some pretty good progress on it. You've probably just about got the door open with a good kind of final shove. You could pop it open.
Can I hear? Is the chanting still going on, or have they?
No. Once you kind of recovered from the pop, it was like deafening for a bit.
And I
Once
also
you
didn't hear it
recovered
to
from that.
begin with. I just didn't know what I was.
Well, you
what I
certainly
felt.
heard the kind of concussive wave that came
Got
out
it.
afterwards that knocked you back.
Great. So I think maybe I don't realize it needs one more push. So I just give it like a full go at it, and then I fall through.
Yeah.
Yeah, a
So
little
what
too
happened was
hard.
there was a bookshelf leaned up against it, and I think probably with your wrestling with it, like the bookshelf fell flat.
Oh, great.
And you didn't realize it. So you throw it open, and then maybe you like stumble over the bookshelf.
Great. Perfect.
as you enter the room.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. I'm definitely all three stages rolled into one.
So Mercury, you find yourself in, it's not exactly an elaborate office. It's like someone went to Fantasy IKEA and they bought everything that like looked like it belonged in a boss's office.
They bought the room. Do you know people do that?
Yeah.
So like you
Yeah,
just go into the floor show and just I'd like to buy that.
So this person went to Fantasy IKEA. They went to like the office display and they're like, yeah, I'll buy this room.
Yeah, perfect. Okay, got it. You guys, you people, I don't do these kind of things often, but this is we're about to get into the real shit.
Mercury, we're giving up. This is too difficult. We've hit a wall.
Because I don't want to bury the lead too much here. Mercury, you also see hovering kind of in the opposite end of the room. You see what appears to be like a gaping portal that's sort of swirling with colors of brown and darker brown and white.
Does it look like a chocolate portal?
Oh, I'm glad that's what you thought of.
I think that's an accurate way to describe it.
Okay, I'm just trying to make a connection between fontaines and but yeah.
And kind of a sickly sweet scent emanates from it.
I hate it.
Do we have Tothar?
No, we're giving up. We gotta leave.
Wait, didn't you get Tothar?
No?
What?
Shh, come on, we're leaving. We've got what we need.
I'm strangely drawn to this portal and just very disoriented and start walking towards it.
So you approach it and the scent grows ever stronger as you get closer, and you do feel like you could step through it and end up somewhere else.
Yeah, I'm really interested in doing that, so I'm about to touch it.
Oh, for goodness sake! Adair, keep Tolvar. What's his name? Tolvar? Thorvald?
Am I allowed to talk?
What's your name?
Tothar.
That's the one. Adair, keep him. I'm gonna stop her from dying.
Sure. Okay. Tothar, why don't you run along? We'll meet you at your home. We know we came looking for you.
All right, I'll hold him and you stop her from dying. God.
Maybe we should follow the bad guy, because that's what.
All right, I'll do both. Tothar, come here, come with me. And then I grab his sleeve and I run and I try to drag him into the room and grab her sleeve too.
And Tothar's reluctant to follow you, but yeah, he does with enough coercion. So you're in the room. Mercury, you're right at the portal. Are you sticking your hand through it?
Yeah, I'm compelled to.
So your hand passes cleanly through, and you can tell just by the way it feels that it emerges into another space. The space is warm, like kind of like body temperature.
This is terrible.
And kind of oddly damp.
And oddly, and it makes you feel a certain way.
I'm definitely compelled to keep on going.
Yeah.
But I'm trying to grab her sleeve and pull her away.
Do you want to roll opposed athletics?
Sure.
Okay.
You're gonna fail.
Roll opposed athletics.
Hey, I've been rolling well and you've been rolling shit, so
That's fair.
I
11.
got 15.
Jesus.
Wow. Okay. Narrate for me how that happens. I want to hear how Elesia overpowers Mercury.
All right. Well, I literally am just. What are you wearing?
I think leather armor. Oh yeah, no, it's like patchwork, like odd armor pieces from people I've either killed in battle or beaten.
Is this like a cute vest or is it like a long sleeved deal or what?
there's nothing really cute about me.
All right, what are the sleeves like?
I think I have like maybe some cloth sticking out of certain.
I'll just grab your
Armor
wrist
pieces.
then. Everybody's
Okay.
got a wrist.
Yeah.
So
Not everybody.
That's true. So I'll grab your wrist, and like there's nothing special about it. I'm just pulling, and I think that maybe you're just that out of it.
Yeah, and you pull me back.
Yeah.
And I say, oh, grow up. And I just walk into the portal.
Oh God.
Fuck this guy.
Okay. And Adair vanishes.
Thank you so much for playing with us, Greg.
Oh no.
Do you guys know, this is a tangent, which we may cut. Do you guys know the Tomb of Annihilation? No.
The what?
Yeah. The Tomb of Horrors.
Mm-mm.
The like
No.
classic D&D. So it's one of the original like crazy balls difficult D&D modules.
Mm.
Very early on, there's a like, just in case you ever find yourself playing it, there's a big like statue with like a gaping mouth, and like, the mouth is like, it's like black inside, and it's actually this thing called a sphere of annihilation. Basically, like just in the rules, anything that touches it, like anything that passes beyond it, is just like wiped from existence.
Dear God.
Is it like the thing that killed Siri? It's kind of like the gate was.
Oh yeah, totally,
Yeah.
yeah.
The most
yeah.
unceremonious death ever.
From what?
Yeah.
Oh, I'm serious. Yeah.
Anyway, this is not that.
Okay.
Adair has gone somewhere else, but we'll leave that
Something
off screen for a bit.
gone to a place that is very anal in nature.
So after Adair disappears, I kind of like, I'm like, what the? I wanted to be first, and I go I go in after him
So Lisa, you stand alone in the office.
with Tothar, though, right?
Alone in the office with Tothar.
All right, Tothar. I think I gotta go with them.
I'll just.
You with me? You with me, Tothar?
Yes,
What?
do it. Do it.
Think of the restaurants on the other side.
Let's roll a persuasion check with disadvantage. You know what? No. Tothar is a reporter. Tothar would love to get the scoop on this. Just roll it straight
Okay.
persuasion.
That is going to be 11 plus 7. That's an 18.
Tothar goes, well, this day can't get any worse. And reaches out his hand to you, Elesia.
All right, I take his hand. It's a sweet moment, and we go through the portal
Yeah.
together.
Okay. And yeah, with that, the party and Tothar has vanished into the chocolate portal, which is certainly not euphemistic.
Yeah. No matter how body temperatured it is, no
Or
matter how wet it is, no matter how it draws Mercury in.
I can't wait for artist interpretations of this particular moment.
And that's where we'll end for today.
Oh.
Thanks everyone for listening. If you want to get in touch with me, you can reach me at dungeonsn, that's the letter N, Derek, at gmail.com. Greg, any social media you want to plug?
Well, that's it. Thank you very much for listening. If you want to get in touch with me, then you can find me at Yes, My Name is Greg on Twitter.
Thank you for that. Jess, anything you want to plug?
Yeah, if you want to email me, you can email me at dungeonsnderek@gmail.com.
That is a lie. But okay. If that's how you want to spend your plug tokens today, that's how you spend them. Stephanie, I don't know why I ask, but is there anything you want to plug?
No, I don't exist.
Thanks everyone for joining us, and we'll see you again in 2 weeks.
Unless you are catching up on this and you are binging all of these in a row, then we'll see you in 30 seconds.
Immediately after.
So, Dungeons and Derek's crew, I wanted to tell you guys about 2 books that I feel like not only will we like them, but our listeners will like them. Okay, so I'm going to talk to you about the Mystic Libations.
It's a very good name.
Yeah, Mystic Libations is a good book for any RPG player, and it's created by Todd Stashwick and Trader Brandon, aka Brandon Clayla. And you know what you do with it?
Read it.
Oh, you read it.
You drink
Point
it.
your eyes at it and move them back and forth.
You make cocktails.
Oh, sick. Yeah.
Yes.
That's
so
cool.
critical cocktails for the thirsty adventurer. Over 100 delicious cocktail recipes. And there are mocktails for those people that, don't need to be tempted. And there's in-world stories. It's a playable RPG. And there's subclasses that are created exclusively for people that are reading the book. It's
Oh,
very,
wait. What do you
very
mean it's a
fucking
playable RPG? What is, how?
like in the book is a story that one could play, and you could make drinks along the way, because we already know that you're going to play an RPG with your friends and have some sort of root beer float or whiskey drink, and now you just have different cool ones.
Can we do this as like a one-off episode?
The book will be available soon. Go to thenerdcircus.com. You'll be able to keep up for when those shipments come out. People who backed it with Kickstarter are most likely going to get those books first, but you definitely want to be on the list to know when all the books are available if they aren't already. I think a one-shot's in our future for sure. Okay, book number 2 is Naming Your Little Geek by Scott Rubin. It is such an adorable, charming book that really is not just like a book where you can, let me decide what to name my child with, but you can also learn cool things about relatively normal names or geeky names and how different names show up in canon. I believe there's a moment like where Superman and Batman connect over the fact that both their moms have the same name. And so there's names have a lot of significance. So if you want to name a child something based off of one of your favorite IPs, this is the perfect book for it. But also if you're like the 4 of us who may never have children.
I was going to say, will it work for cats?
It works for cats. It works for computers. It works for, which is why we are talking about it right now, RPGs.
Oh.
So if you're like a DM and you just don't like coming up with names, you just flip through that book and you show up with a name right there and there. That's pretty awesome.
Jess, this is very good. Can I back up just for 1 second?
Please.
You said Superman and Batman's mom have the same name?
Yeah.
That's wild.
Earth Mom, not like.
Oh, okay,
Birth mom.
not okay. I was gonna say, yeah, because I know his dad's name is Jor-El. If his mom's name is Martha or
Karen.
whatever,
Karen
yeah.
L.
It is like Martha or Karen. It is
But
something like
that's
that.
his mom raised him on Earth.
Yeah, farm
Raised him
mom.
on Earth. I think it's even. I'm sure there's a scene in Batman vs Superman where they're like, "My mom Martha, my mom's named Martha. I'm still gonna kill you." But that kind of stuff. It's not. Again, it's not only just. It's not just like an index. It's like a really great drop into some history for characters that you really love, and you get to know what your name means. I learned more about my name by looking at the book, and it's also just looks really cool on your shelf. I thought you were trying to back me up to tell me I screwed something up, but no, I didn't.
No, you did
I did
great.
something
No,
cool.
you're perfect.
That's very
Oh
good.
no, I'm not. But if you go to bubblesandthingssoaps.com, you can get your ass this book called Naming Your Little Geek, and it's adorable. It's adorable. And that's it.